Hello and welcome. This is Eugene Theobald and Barry Power. We are here to talk to you today about the newest and most powerful real estate system ever devised, the reverse close. You can own your own real estate business and make big money your first week. The book below, Success in the New Economy, written by Steve Forbes and Shane Perkins, is going to be a New York Times bestseller when it's released next month. This book includes an entire chapter on the reverse close system, the real estate game changer.
It really is a real estate game changer because you can make $300 per sign up, and that is absolutely revolutionary. You actually make money almost every time you talk to a client.
And those of us who've been in real estate investing for any period of time know how frustrating it can be to talk to clients, and never make any money.
You give them all your knowledge, all your information, and you walk away with nothing. With this program, you're picking up $300 almost every time you speak to a client. In addition, you're going to make over $5,000 cash before the close on every deal. And you're also going to get cash flow after the close. Best of all, we have a cookie cutter process. We utilize a proven presentation, a proven system, proven procedures, proven documents. In fact, it's so simple that anyone can do it, even a novice, and there's no cash and no credit needed. Can you do this? A housewife closed 12 of 13 presentations. A school teacher closed 9 out of 11 presentations. This allows you to do multiple deals every single week. Our product is owner financing on a great deal. Everybody needs our product, and in fact, finding credit challenged people is easy. Have you had any problem locating people with bad credit, Gene?
No, sir, they're everywhere in this economy.
You just stick an ad in the paper and the phone starts ringing. We call this system the reverse close because we begin with the home buyer instead of the deal. The home buyer locates a great deal, and this saves you a tremendous amount of time and money. In fact, every home is sold before it's bought. Now, your time is valuable, and we want to get right to the point. We're going to show you the exact home buyer presentation that we use every single day. Here's the presentation, and as you hear the presentation, I want you to just relax and act as if you are a person with strong income but you can't qualify for a home, and see if this presentation would sell you. And if you can see that this presentation works, then you're going to already know that you can make $300 about every time you speak to a client. The presentation is less than 18 minutes, so here it goes. Welcome to income-based funding as opposed to credit-based funding. You can own a home with big equity. To qualify, we need 3 things. Number 1, you need strong income. Well, we already know that you've got strong income. Number 2, you need to be able to find a great deal, such as a foreclosure, a short sale, or an estate sale, and that shores up any lack of credit. Number 3, you need at least $5,000 down. Credit-based loans deny the American dream to over 90% of people. Self-employed people, the backbone of the American economy, have the hardest go of it. They get the short end of the stick when it comes to getting loans. Divorce affects more credit files than anything else because over half of all marriages end in divorce. And identity theft, in addition, destroys millions of credit files every single year. Medical bills destroy so many millions of credit files, it's amazing, and it causes more bankruptcies than anything else in our country. There are student loan defaults affect millions of people. Evictions from apartment complexes destroy millions of credit files every single year. Businesses fail 90% of the time, destroying credit with it, and governments put tax liens on millions of citizens. Our country is all about lawsuits today. Millions and millions of them every single year. Half the people win, half the people lose. The people that lose get a judgment, their credit is destroyed and there's no way that they can acquire a home or get a new home loan. Credit card companies, cable companies, cell phone companies, they love to overcharge you every month, and if you fight them too hard, they will also destroy your credit. We've had over 25 million job losses, and if you're lucky enough to have gotten a job, you may not have been on there long enough to qualify for a home loan. Then we've got multi-millions of foreclosures and short sales that have destroyed people's credit. You can't get a home loan for at least 3 years after a foreclosure. We've had millions of vehicle repos every single year destroying credit. When you're at the bottom, people like to kick you when you're down. You go through humiliation and suffering. You get a new job or a new business. You get a new job with good income. You save money. What do you want to do? You get back on your feet. You get a new life, a new wife, new husband, something like that. You try to buy a home, and what's the lender going to say? They're going to say, no, you need another 7 to 10 years of punishment. You haven't suffered enough. So when people have been through all of this, what do they generally do? They look at owner financing. And what do they find? They find limited choices, and everything is overpriced, and they want giant down payments. So when that doesn't work out, people investigate creative financing, such as lease purchase, lease option, contract for deed. Again, people find limited choices and everything's overpriced. And even worse, no deed means you can lose your home even though you pay as agreed. Because if any of these items occur to the person with the deed, you lose your home. If the deed holder goes bankrupt, they get a divorce, they die, they have a lawsuit, they get an IRS tax lien, they don't cooperate, they don't pay the mortgage for any reason, you lose your home. So you don't want to do a deal like that. You have to get a deed. So people resort to renting, which is the same thing as throwing money out the window. Right now, rents are going higher and higher because no one can qualify for a loan. What about getting help from family or friends? Well, the problem there is that they're probably in the same boat as you. And even if you could get help from family or friends, you'd probably never hear the end of the story. You may have heard of a famous national speaker by the name of Zig Ziglar. He coined this phrase. He said, "Get what you want by helping others get what they want." That's a very powerful concept. It really works. And in fact, our company is totally based upon that concept. It's basically people helping people, something that doesn't happen enough in our country today. You want owner financing on a great deal. Investors with strong credit, these are people that want to make money with low risk. So, just like Zig Ziglar says, each party can help the other party. We connect you to someone with powerhouse credit. Now, with your strong income, if you've got somebody with strong credit on your team, do you think that would open up any doors for you? You better believe it. We call our investors angel investors because they create miracles for families, helping people get into homes that would no other way could they get into a home. And we call it socially responsible investing because people today are becoming more and more concerned about how they make their money. They want to know, are they investing in a company that's destroying the environment, harming animals, or violating human rights? Or are they investing in a company that is helping their neighbor get into the American dream of home ownership? Investing in a company that's reducing foreclosures and creating jobs and helping society in general. We show our investors how to get a hard money loan. With a hard money loan, they can close any home in any condition within 15 days, and all the repair monies are provided. Now, on the other hand, a conventional lender will not loan money on a home that's in bad condition, not even if you have an 850 credit score. Like if you try to get an FHA loan without a stove in the house, you're not going to get that loan. So we find that even people with strong credit come to us to acquire a home and repair it and sell it back to them. We provide great terms. We go up to a 30-year loan. You can get a 15-year loan, 20-year loan, whatever you want. More important, there's no prepayment penalty. We deliver a fixed rate of 9.9%, which allows the investor to make money, and that's good because that gives them a financial incentive to acquire your home of choice. But even at 9.9%, The PITI, principal, interest, taxes, and insurance, that's less than market rent. And a fast refi is possible. We'll cover more on that in a couple of slides. Now, we utilize a rubber stamp process. We do the same thing over and over. We don't have to reinvent the wheel every time we do a deal. You get a deed. That's what you want. You get big equity in the home. That's also what you want. We don't take advantage of you based upon how bad your credit is. In the present system, they will pull your credit file and they'll say, okay, we're going to smash you down and make it that much harder to get back up. Well, that's no way to help somebody. We find that our clients appreciate the fact that we treat them fairly and equally. What we want you to do is to find a great deal. A great deal is what we consider to be a 70% ARV deal. That stands for after repair value. In other words, if a home's worth $100,000 and you could buy it for $70,000, we think that's a pretty good deal. Here's an example of a 2,000 square foot foreclosure that perhaps the bank is asking $35 a square foot for. $35 times 2,000 feet is $70,000. Let's say that the typical situation is the repairs are $20,000 on the home. $70,000 plus $20,000 totals up to $90,000. Now, if we pull the comparable sales in the subdivision and we see the high comps are at $70 a square foot, then we know that that home is going to be worth $70 times 2,000 square feet. So what is 70 times 2,000? It's $140,000. And with a hard money lender, we can get 70% of that amount of money. So what is 70% of $140,000? That's $98,000. That's more than enough money to acquire the home and to repair it. We don't even need $98,000. We can get it all done for $90,000. So when you find a great deal, you're going to have to learn how to ask a realtor to confirm it's a good deal by pulling the comparable sales in the same subdivision in the last 6 months of similar sized homes. So for example, on a 2,000 square foot home, you could go up or down 400 square feet. You could look at homes with a 1,600 square foot footage to all the way up to 2,400 square feet. But the important thing is that you find comparable sales in the same subdivision that have closed in 6 months or less. Not 7 months or 8 months, but less than 6 months. Now we're going to add value to the home. The investor who helps you is going to get repair bids for the home, and you are also welcome to get repair bids. The goal is quality work at a low price. The target is to complete repairs within 30 days. Then you move in. When the repairs are completed, the home is worth more money. So, we order a new appraisal. The investor will get a new loan, he will pay off the hard money loan, and now you pay to get a wrap deed in your name, which is recorded at the county courthouse, and you can use any title company or any attorney that you choose. Here's the question of the day. If you found a foreclosure with $50,000 plus equity, and those deals are out there, and we have a person willing to use their credit and their cash to buy it, fix it, and owner finance it for you, would you be willing to pay the person that helps you $67 a month extra? Most people say, well, sure, that sounds reasonable enough to me. So you pay a fair and reasonable fixed fee for services rendered. That's what's important, is that it's a fixed fee. $67 a month happens to be the same thing as $15,000 amortized over 30 years at 3.5%. After taxes, $67 a month is the same thing as $45 a month to you. You can't even get cable TV for $45 a month. So please understand that our fixed fee is $15,000 or 15%, whichever is greater. And that's a reasonable fee for an investor to make to help you acquire a home. Most investors look to make $50,000 when they're acquiring a home, so this is the minimum amount that an investor can help you for. But here's some other powerful benefits that you receive. You will get a cash price because we're going to offer the bank cash with no financing conditions and a 15-day close. you're going to get the benefit of any price reduction because the investor is working on a fixed fee for services rendered. It's also easier to get a cash offer accepted than a financed offer because all the banks know that most of the financed offers are not going through. In fact, a bank may take $85,000 cash over an $87,000 financed offer. All costs are going to be documented and rolled into your loan. The cost of the home, the financing and repair cost, the investor's 15% fee. Everything is transparent, everything's on the table, nothing is hidden. Everything is full disclosure, and that's a good way to do business. The $5,000 down is paid in 3 stages. When you're ready to make an offer on a property, you need $1,000. When the seller signs the contract, we have a real deal. At that point, you bring in an additional $2,500. The day before closing, you pay the remaining $1,500 for a grand total of $5,000, which is a comfortable amount of money for most families to get into a home. If you put more money down, you will get a lower payment and you will get more options on more homes to pick from. Most of our clients put $10,000 down, or they're putting $5,000 down and doing their own repairs. If you cannot find a home with 30% equity, as long as you have 20% to put down, you can pick any home you want, new or used, and you can get a home of up to $520,000. There's no ARV requirement, just your 20% down. That is your equity. And if you put 25% down, then you can command a lower interest rate. You can get 8.9%, and we go up to $550,000. Most of our clients are doing the program with $5,000 down. Banks require a pre-approval letter and $1,000 earnest money. So when you find a great deal, you must be ready to make an offer quickly, because other sharp people will recognize the same opportunity. Here's an example of how you have big equity on day one. Here's a home. It's a foreclosure, a 2,500 square foot home, a 2-story home. And in this case, the ARV was $150,000. That's the after repair value. The as-is bank price, $69,000. Repairs or rehab on the home, $15,000. Financing cost. To get 2 loans, a hard money loan and a permanent loan, that burns up about $10,000. So the cost on the home is $94,000. We add $15,000 for the investor profit, making a total price of $109,000. You put $10,000 down, you owe $99,000. That's a fantastic deal. You've got $51,000 in equity because the home is worth $150,000, but you owe $99,000. So what's the payment on $99,000? The payment on $99,000 at a 9.9% rate for 30 years is $862. Taxes are $210, insurance is $90, total payment is $1,162. Well, that's less than market rent, because that same home would rent within a week for $1,500 to $1,550, and the $1,162 a month after taxes, that's about the same as $1,000 a month. Better to own the home for $1,162 a month rather than rent it for $1,550. But we have even better news than that. You're going to want to refinance this home as soon as possible, because a 3.5% rate on $99,000 will drop your payment from $862 to $445. Your payment drops $427 per month. That's what you want. Low overhead while you build equity for your family. Now here's the best news of all. A refi is easier than a purchase. Just imagine you've been making timely payments of $862 a month for a few months, and you're applying for a loan and your bank says, okay, you're looking for a $445 payment. You've been paying double. It looks like you can afford to pay half. And then they say, just a second, you've got big equity here. You've got $50,000 in equity. This is not a 3% down deal, so there's less risk to the bank. In fact, there's not even going to be any PMI requirement, private mortgage insurance, to insure the top 20% of the loan. As a result of all that, the credit score requirement is lower. You can actually do a refi with a 580 credit score. For most people, they can get to a 580 credit score at a fairly quick period of time if they're working on it. We provide a valuable service. Probably the most valuable thing we do is we bring the strong credit person to the table, which makes owner financing your home of choice a reality. Number 2, we're going to issue a pre-approval letter within 2 days. Now, most realtors won't even show a home without a pre-approval letter, and a seller won't even look at an offer without a pre-approval letter. Our pre-approval letter is going to be good for up to a year for up to $150,000 with only $5,000 down. We go up to $900,000, but as you go over a $150,000 loan, the down payment requirement increases rapidly because the risk is higher. We're going to coordinate the closing. We're going to stay with you until you get the keys, move in, and get a deed in your name. Your total cash out of pocket, we have our home buyer consulting fee is only $300. Your down payment is $5,000. You meet the appraiser and pay him directly $375. Your total out of pocket is only $5,675. All other costs are rolled into the mortgage, no surprises. There's big equity in the property, so if anything unexpected occurred, we can roll it into the back of the mortgage. So your out of pocket is a known variable, not to exceed $5,675. We have a no-risk approval process. All you have to do is put up $300, and if we don't approve you, your monies are refunded immediately. A pre-approval letter will be sent within 48 hours. And if we do not approve you, it is in writing that you get an immediate refund. Now, with a pre-approval letter, you will have a same-day offer capacity. You can use any realtor that you choose, and all you got to do is go pick a winner. Do you have any questions? Gene, that's the end of the presentation.
That is powerful.
Most clients are ready to go when we're done with that presentation.
And you've just made $300 in 20 minutes.
That's absolutely fantastic. And the next thing that happens, Gene, is that person is happy, they're getting their pre-approval letter, and they're going to go out and find a 70% ARV home. That stands for after repair value.
And that means you don't have to look for it.
Yeah, that saves you a lot of time and money. Looking for a house, finding a bargain, that's where we spend all our time and effort. Now, you've got the home buyer doing that work for you. Now, here's how you get your $5,000 before the close. When they find the home they want, they're going to put up $1,000. Then they're going to give you $2,500 when the seller signs the contract. They're going to give you $1,500 the day before closing. And now you have received a grand total of $5,000. Plus, you're going to make money after the close. An investor is going to take over your contract at cost. So you've collected $5,000, you can turn over the deal to the investor, and now you're going to get 1/3 of the cash flow.
That's amazing. That's what you call multiple streams of income.
Yeah, you're getting money up front, you're getting money before the close, then you're getting money after the close. Here's some testimonials. This is what Angelina had to say. She said, "The reverse close system is far and away the best opportunity I've seen in a long time. I've been watching this system work for 6 months, and I've been to the IBF offices many times. What they do is amazing. I like the rubber stamp process where you can keep doing the same thing over and over. Probably more than anything, I like helping people improve their lives." So Angelina is actually opening up an office in Dallas.
Oh, that's outstanding.
Here's Becky, a housewife. She said, "The PowerPoint presentation really works. I close the majority of the people that I present to. Everything makes so much sense. Zig Ziglar was right. You can get what you want by helping others get what they want." And then here's Beverly, a school teacher. She said, "I placed ads offering owner financing for clients with strong income. My phone began ringing off the hook." Is that what you found, Gene?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, I was amazed at how many motivated buyers there are. I set 4 appointments and all of them signed up. The consulting fee agreement works really well. Well, it ought to work. We paid thousands of dollars to our attorney to get that agreement. There are a lot of people that need income-based funding. Well, you better believe it. So, Gene, why don't you tell them what they get?
All right. Well, what you get with our system, you get a proven system that allows you to make $5,000 before the close. So obviously the value of that is multiples of 5,000. Just think, if you do one deal a month, that's $60,000 in your pocket. You can't do any, well, you can do a lot better than that. You can do many more deals than that per month. So you really have a six-figure business here.
You're absolutely right. If you do one deal a month, that means you're hardly working.
You also get our proven consulting fee agreement, where you'll make $300 upfront per sign-up. The value of that is incredible. I know, Barry, I know you've signed up dozens of people in a single month.
I've signed up 15 people in a week.
Yeah. You'll get our proven ads, our proven owner finance documents, and our proven procedures. We will show you exactly how we do it, exactly the things that you need to succeed.
And we're talking about you getting these documents right here, right now.
Right here, right now. All you have to do is sign up, and today only, you will also get as a bonus 2 full days of live training at the Houston headquarters, where you will get hands-on live training from Gene and Barry for 2 full days.
And when you get the 2 days of training, you will realize what the value is of this system. We've got a money-back satisfaction guarantee. If for any reason at the end of the first day of training you are not totally satisfied, you can ask for a full refund of your money. And here's what's even better. The value of this business easily exceeds $100,000. Anytime you can be making $100,000 a month or $100,000 a year, what's the value of that business? It's worth in multiples of hundreds of thousands of dollars. Your cost is not $100,000. Your cost is not even $10,000. Gene, why don't you tell them what their cost is going to be?
Well, normally we sell this program for $14.97, but if you act today, you can get the reverse close system, the entire thing, for only $997. Click the buy button now.
Gene, that's unbelievable. For $997, they're going to be able to make $300 every time they turn around and talk to a client?
That's right. 3 appointments and you've just about paid for the system.
And you're going to make $5,000 cash before the close on deals?
One deal closes and you've made 5 times the cost of the system.
That's absolutely amazing.
And in these tight economic times, we know that not everybody has $997. So what we'll do today only is we are going to offer a payment plan option. So you can either make a single payment of $997, or if that's too much for your finances right now, you can select the 2-payment option. And you'll be billed $587 immediately, and then 30 days from the purchase, you'll be billed the balance of $587 as one final payment.
That's fantastic. We're going to be looking forward to working with you. You're going to be very pleased with this investment.